It's Wolf, and it's another 15 First Impressions. This one is about ZULA, or ZULA Global. I'm not sure if the global needs to be on there. I see it both ways depending on where you look. Anyway, ZULA is a free-to-play first-person shooter. It is kind of like Counter-Strike and Call of Duty, a little bit of both. I'd say it leans more on the Counter-Strike side of things with how you can't sprint and there doesn't seem to be regenerating health, but you can aim down sights, even though there are aspects of it that remind me more of like Call of Duty or Battlefield with like some of the game modes with team deathmatch and deathmatch and stuff like that, and the aim down sights. I think it does overall lean more on the Counter-Strike side of things. For example, one of the maps that I played in this gameplay was literally just a reskin of Dust 2. However, it definitely is not up to the same level of polish as those two games. So one of the things that became very apparent to me that kind of annoyed me quite a bit when I was playing was that the spawns in this game are not great. In a lot of other games, at least in like Call of Duty and Battlefield and stuff, so far as I know, they have a system set up where if there's an enemy player near a spawn location, they won't usually spawn you there. There's some sort of way that they have it set up to spawn you at a point where you'll usually be able to kind of get your bearings before you get into an actual fight with another player. In this game, you just kind of spawn wherever, so you can spawn literally in the middle of a gunfight, which is not great. And overall, the gameplay just doesn't feel as polished. The character health feels really, really low, like you can get shot like twice and then go down. The movement speed in general seems kind of off. There's no sprinting, nothing like that. That being said, it isn't bad. I mean, it is pretty alright, and one of the things that this game does have going for it is that I actually thought it was going to be a game kind of like Counter-Strike Nexon Studio, which I actually just recorded the 15 First Impressions of before doing this one. I thought it was going to lean a little bit into all the wackiness of that kind of thing, but it actually stays pretty subtle. It's actually not even as off the wall as some of the newer Call of Duty games have been. There's some weird like character skins and weapon skins and stuff like that, but everything stays mostly within the realm of reality and stuff. So that is kind of good. I mean, I do kind of like it when games go off the rails, but it is nice when a game is trying to be like a serious-ish shooter and stays being a serious-ish shooter. Straight up, I'm genuinely having a little bit of a hard time trying to think of more things to say about this game because it is just kind of a first-person shooter. There's not really anything that stands out about ZULA, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it is good when games have unique aspects to them, but at the same point, sometimes it's good to have just like a generic game appear. This game feels like the type of game that when like characters in movies are playing first-person shooters and stuff, this is the type of game that shows up on their screen. And that's not necessarily a bad thing though. I mean, it is fun, and I was thinking about it, like this would not be my first choice of FPS to go play, but if I only played PC and I mostly played free-to-play games, I think I would actually be more inclined to play this than Counter-Strike because it's not so serious and hardcore as Counter-Strike. At least it doesn't feel that way. And honestly, even though I haven't really had much to say in this 15 First Impressions and it's been a little bit all over the place, that's kind of all that I do have to say. I mean, there's a couple of issues with the normal free-to-play stuff. There's store items and things like that that kind of get in the way. There's a bunch of menus you gotta click through. There's confusing stuff about all this stuff with like materials and upgrading weapons and all that kind of thing, but that's usual like free-to-play nonsense anyway. So I think that actually is all that I have to say about ZULA. It's not bad, it's free to play, so I would suggest checking it out if you want to check it out, and if you don't like it, you can always just delete it. I was about to do the outro, and then I remembered another thing I wanted to mention about this game, which was how I found it. I actually found this through Mars/ZMR because of the whole thing with how ZMR was only available on its SS5 for a while. This is another game that its SS5 also offers, so far as I remember. Last time I checked, it was offered there as well. I'm playing the Steam version of it because that's just the version that I had downloaded, but it's also available over there, which was kind of interesting. So anyway, though, thank you guys for watching the video. Here's the rest of the gameplay, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Eliminate the enemy team. Double kill. Triple kill.